Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have out there in the void of space tonight? Let's have a little look. Hey guys, I'm joined today by everybody. We've got Chanda, Marek, Sam, and Aaron all on the stream today. So it's great to see everybody here. We're back in the studio. And yeah, we're going to take a look at some amazing mods that you guys have been creating over the last month. But welcome, guys. How are we doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Hello, Joel. Hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Good to see all these faces here. An exciting one planned, haven't we?
I think honestly, and this is probably is this the most people we've had at stream on stream in one go? I'm not sure. I will check with the chat that we've got so many people. Everyone's audio is good, right, guys? Super. But no, it's honestly been an amazing month, and I know me and Aaron and the guys have been checking out live what's been getting created and posted. But today we're going to look at a group and some of the new mods that even I haven't had a look at yet. So there's going to be a really, really nice wide selection. But yeah, I can see we got a... Actually, I'll start off by asking you guys, because we're going to have some polls today. And I want to ask, where are you guys viewing from today? Straight up, first question. Let us know. But I also wanted to kind of give our first question just to Marek and just asking about how Space Engineers 2 development has been in general since we last met. Like, how are things going? How are you feeling about the progress and the team and everything?
Yeah, it's going well. Now we are working on Vertical Slice 2, Planets and Survival. I think it's going nice. But yeah, we will see at the end of the milestone.
Yeah, I think it's one of the points we have today is the fact that we're actually skipping Vertical Slice 1.6 that we touched on and actually going straight to VS2, because I know that we know that so many players out there, they're waiting for this release, right, to get stuck in. We did a poll recently and the majority of people are waiting on that release. So that's why the team is kind of all hands on deck to get that out as soon as possible. Of course, you know, there's lots of other things happening in parallel. We have the water as well. But I know that so many of you guys are really waiting for that. Just seeing here as well. Let's have a look. We've got people from all over the world seeing. That's always good to see. And the sound is low. Who is low? Let's see, because I can hear everybody right now. Is it just that I'm too booming? Sound is fine? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, Marek, maybe some people aren't sure. You already mentioned a little bit. So in general, what can players expect from Vertical Slice 2? I mean, not just like Planet Survival, but just some more depth to that, I guess.
Yeah. So the main thing is we will be adding 2 planets, Verdure and Chemic, and survival gameplay. So currently in Space 2 there is only creative, but with VS2 we'll be adding survival. So you will spawn, you will have to survive, you will have to gather resources, mine, process them, and then build. And you will be able to travel between those 2 planets and also to asteroid fields and so on. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is the colonization progression and colonization map that we'll be adding, because it will, for the first time in a Space Engineers universe, add some kind of meta loop to the game. So you will be progressing by doing the missions. The missions will be unlocking the progression, and you will be colonizing one sector at a time, and when a sector is colonized, it unlocks the next sector, and you can start completing missions in that other sector, and then continue, and eventually, after many tens of hours, colonize the entire Almagest solar system. So this is very important because, as I said before, the game was open-ended. There wasn't official meta progression other than just players setting up their own goals. And I also want to emphasize is that it's not forced on the players, because they can also, just kind of ignore the meta loop and play freeform sandbox as they wish. So, it's just there for those that want it. And I actually believe many people want some objectives and goals from the game, me included, including like when I see a game and there are no objectives and I have to think about what I to do, I usually quit very fast, because again, for me, the time investment and everything, it's just like, should I start doing this or this or this? What if this would be the wrong direction, and I would spend my time doing something that wasn't actually necessary. So that's why I like in games like clear directions and clear progression, almost linear, in a linear way. So this will be the most important. But I also want to emphasize that this will be just the first installment of survival. So of course there will be many other survival aspects that will come later to the game. I'm not just talking about water. That will come in VS3, probably at the beginning of next year, or like close to the beginning of next year. And which will of course add the water survival and water related gameplay and new water blocks and so on, and new water missions, new water encounters and so on, and also third planet Byblos. So this still will not be the full survival experience, obviously. We'll still need to add combat, we'll need to add NPCs, we will need to add many more types of encounters and missions, and of course there are still many blocks that we have yet to add. So that's that. But again, in VS2, hopefully if everything goes according to the plan, it will be still this year released, and it will be the moment where you can start playing the survival and progressing and colonizing Almagest.
Super exciting. And I mean, I saw a question saying when VS2. So again, still the idea, guys, is by the end of the year, it's still the goal. And I mean, in theory, that's not that long. We're already in nearly August now. So we're less than half the year to go. So it's not that long. And it will be huge. And I say some of those things that Marek's discussing here, actually, he talked about in one of the recent blog posts that he did. And I think we'll have some time later on in the stream to have some more general SE2 questions around the meta loop, around, or another one that Marek did recently was on combat. And there was tons of feedback on the combat one. I know specifically that was something that was really cool to see. So I think while today's focus is definitely going to be about modding, we should have some time later, guys, to kind of go over some of the other areas of the game, and if you have questions or thoughts on this. So I guess bringing it back to modding, I wanted to again touch on the history of modding and Space Engineers too, in terms of how long ago, maybe this is one for Chenda, like the team was counting on this being a huge part of the game, right? Like I know it was very, very early on, but yeah, we'd love to hear some from you, Chenda, just about this kind of modding in Space Engineers 2.
Okay, so of course, Space Engineers 1 are like modding is a big part of it, and we always like supported it, and you know how important it is to the game itself and to its growth and to its players. So from the beginning we like designed the whole game and the tooling around like our players being able to use them, being as easy to use as possible, and designing all our workflows to kind of lend itself to modding. And there are like big improvements over SE1. Of course, one thing is that we have editor, which is easy to use. And actually, I was very pleasantly surprised how players or modders were reacting to the tooling, because like internally, of course, we see all the flaws and all the things that can be improved, and suddenly we get all this praise that the bulk of it is very good and easy to use. So that was very nice to hear.
I mean, that's just it. I mean, the fact is that for the first time, you guys have access to the same kind of tools that the developers have. So when it comes to the potential of mods, both now and in the future, it's crazy that the difference is huge. And people have already really been getting stuck in with the editor, been using the guides. We're seeing both new modders who have never modded before going through the guides and making their very first mod. And of course, we're also seeing the kind of established modders coming across from SE1 and getting involved with SE2, which is all really, really good to see. And I think we also expect, there's going to be, in time, there's going to be probably even more mods than there is in SE1, in SE2. And that, I think it's only a matter of time, honestly. I think when more and more people see the potential of modding in SE2, and I think as the guys add to the potential as well in terms of what you're able to add, I think this is going to be huge. And I think on that point, like maybe Chenda, you can talk a little bit again about what's I guess a reminder for players. I mean, lots of people know, but a reminder of what's moddable now, but then also maybe what's going to be moddable in the coming months and years, I guess.
Of course. Like every system that we do is moddable, even now, but we took great care to kind of support few main flows that we have, like creating functional block, creating armor block, skybox, modding the character model. I think there is few more, like sounds, music, right? Voxels, yes, asteroids. So we kind of polished some of the flows, which actually was very beneficial for our internal teams as well, because now they get much nicer flow. But essentially, any aspect of the game is moddable. We took great care when designing and implementing features that all the data are in definitions in our essentially data assets. So you can mod it all, and you can do partial copy of anything or partial override of anything and change any data. And we already seen many bots doing that, and of course, to some degree, even breaking the game. But that's part of the fun, right?
Exactly, part of the fun. Actually, I wanted to throw out. We got Sam and Aaron. Okay, they're not in the room, but I got to admit they're out there. They're out there in the void of space. Just to ask one of you guys, can feel free whoever wants to take this, but just also on the approach that we have to supporting the modders, both new and existing, in terms of the documentation. Right, this has also been a huge part in the tutorials. So I know one of you guys feel free to take that one.
Sam, would you like that, since you've been a massive part of pioneering that?
Sam.
So I worked and lived and breathed modding for quite a few months. We were constantly looking at how to make modding accessible to more people. So it didn't just have to be the hardcore people who like to get in and dig around their game. We wanted to expand it so as many people who were happy enough to open the editor could achieve something. And I worked very closely with Chendo. We iterated quite a few times. We made these changes that Chendo spoke about, which has benefited both modders and players and developers. Sorry. So yeah, I feel like it's been a real big win, and it's something I think we will look to do as we expand our modding capabilities to our players.
Yeah, so just to add to that quickly as well, so we've got these lovely text documents that fully explain exactly how you can make a basic mod, and now we've also put up video documentation showing you how you can make these mods as well. So the combination of them, if you're a visual learner or a text-based, or combine them both together, it makes it extremely easy to learn how to mod for yourself. And I really recommend getting stuck into it because it's easy and it's fun.
And Aaron, I mean, have you? Just, I'm curious, like, have you had some really, I'm sure you have, but like, in terms of seeing new modders, have you got maybe some stories from, a player who's like, oh, I built my first mod? Have you seen some comments and stuff like this?
To be honest, there's a lot of players who first thought, oh, modding space engineers, that's something I could never actually tackle. Yeah. And then they give it a go and build their first mod. And their first thing is like, this is really easy. This is really straightforward. And the thing that we're seeing because of this is people are making a lot more fun mods. They're making quick little mods, like they can quickly, like we'll see later on, stick your face on a skybox and make a skybox within 20-30 minutes if they know what they're doing.
Hold that
and the tutorial is very straightforward. So you can get a skybox, and you can also manipulate blocks and systems that we've already got in the game and kind of sort of adjust them to make a mod out of them yourself. So yeah, it's really straightforward, and that's what we're seeing. People go, oh wow, this is easy, let's get stuck in, and then they'll invite their friends along.
Now I've got a question for Marek, actually, and that would just be, it's more like an overall, like a kind of like a future vision. Like, if you could say, Marek, how do you see like the future of modding and space engineers, the ecosystem? I'm just curious or maybe a different question, like, is there some kind of mod that you would really love to see? Like, it could be something just totally game changing. It could be something, that almost converts the whole game. I'm just curious if you've had an idea in the past or maybe now for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good question. Maybe closest to my vision would be something like what happened with Daisy and Arma, where basically a mod created a completely new game, maybe even more successful than the previous one. So something like that would be the ideal case.
And I think that's where having the full access and being able to with time, of course, when it comes to scripting and stuff. But in the future, it feels like total conversion mods will be very much something that players could achieve. I think. I mean, back me up here, Chendo. Is that?
Yeah, for sure. Just a disclaimer. Of course, we are talking for now.
Yeah.
Just about data modding.
Sure.
Right? You can change any data in the game, and like share it with your friends and as a mod. But what you cannot do for now is scripting, and that's something that's of course planned in the future. But right now we want to focus on like upgrading the gameplay, essentially getting you survival planets and some fun in the game.
And I know that players want that. I can see the comments. So yes. I'm just going to go through here a little bit. We're going to get to the showcase as soon as we can here, guys. But it's a rare occasion to have everyone here with us here. So I also just a couple of classic reminders here. I saw people asking about SE1. Space Engineers 1 development continues. 207 is on the horizon. It's going to be epic. I actually have a video which you may have seen. We can play that real quick, just in case you guys missed it, because it was one of the ones that was in the newsletter. But I think, Aaron, does that sound good if I play that? It's been about 10 days, hasn't it?
I would definitely play that.
All right,
if you missed out on this one, this is a really exciting update on things.
Yeah, this should like be an answer in a sense for people asking about SE1. We'll just play this short clip here and be back after the clip. So check it out, guys. SE1. And we're over here. And there we go. So I just wanted to quickly play that. Really cool stuff, right, guys?
Nice folk.
Yeah. So again, this is really the continued mission, right? That both games are getting developed in parallel. There's great stuff coming for SE2, and there's still great stuff coming for SE1 as well. So definitely keep an eye out, guys. It's coming. So hopefully that covers the SE1 for now. Unless you had anything to add, Aaron, maybe, or any of the guys wanted to add about SE1, I'm not sure.
Well, I will say, I know the community are really buzzing. We've just also had Space Engineers 2, the clip of the batteries and how the batteries are sort of hinted at the moment, and the modular cells. We had a little hinty video of that. So everyone's like, oh, these exciting things coming for SE2, and we've got a ton coming for SE1. Just give it me now. That's kind of they think they're demanding it. They want it as quickly as possible. I understand exactly why, because this is some exciting stuff.
And I think one of the things I always say is that, like, the saying is, it's never been a better time to be a space engineer. You're spoiled for choice. You have good stuff in SE1 still, and you have like this next gen stuff coming with SE2. And I mean, you just wait till you get VS2 and then water beyond that. It's going to be really, really, really cool. So we'll move through here, guys, because we want to get to the showcase here. I'm just doing some weekly reminders. Definitely be sure to sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already. I think most of you guys here should have. I think you're the hardcore community members here, but if you haven't, please do. And also Marek's dev diary weekly. I mean, this has been really popular, I think, in terms of getting insight into your... Maybe, Marek, again, for people who don't know what this is or maybe missed it, to talk a little bit about your dev diaries.
Mm-hmm. So I have a blog at the blog.marekrosa.org, and I guess Vašek can post the link to the chat right now. And every week, every Thursday, I post their dev diary, usually reflections of what I was working on personally in last week. So something that is basically fresh on my mind, and something that I was thinking about or working on during last few days before I write the blog post. Usually I write the blog post on Wednesday evening or sometimes Thursday morning, like a few hours basically before we post it. But the reason why, it's this way is that I really want it to be fresh, and also I want to minimize the time I spend on it, but not because, I'm lazy or I don't want to give value to the players, but I kind of want to have good return on investment. You know, so like
Sure, yeah.
I don't want to spend the whole day writing the blog post, right? I want something fast. But also by putting this constraint on myself, it actually forces me to focus on like what's the most important thing, put it down, also not go too long with length. So usually I keep it, I don't know, like 2 pages or 3 pages and so on. And I focus on some topic. And recently actually what we started to do with Vašek, because Vašek is helping me, you know, to put the final blog on the Blogger, format it, add some pictures and so on. So I need to care only about the text.
Yeah.
The rest is done by Vašek. And so what we started to do recently is that we ask questions. And then players, they comment. Many of them comment on the blog. Many comment on Steam forums or, you know, like Facebook, YouTube, or everywhere around the place. And then we read the comments and actually learn quite a lot. Sometimes it's about good ideas and sometimes it's about player preferences, which is like both equally valuable. But this is the nice part. And actually it's in last few weeks, because I think the questions were that we asked the players were something that they were really interested in.
Yeah.
So the number of comments is so huge that now, you know, like when I open my inbox, I already see these emails because I, you know, like
Invite people to, yeah.
I have all these, some people, they send emails, yes.
Yeah.
But I also have the like email notification for new comments.
Oh,
So
wow.
when the new
Yeah.
comments
Hundreds.
come, you know, I have it in my inbox, and now it's like I open the inbox and not only I have all the work emails, you know, like the usual stuff, but now also these questions, and it's a lot, but also it's very useful for me to read it. It's a lot of fun. And if I get a chance, I reply to people, I clarify some things and so on. So for me, it's really amazing experience. And I hope I'm communicating clearly and not confusing people, especially with, you know, like the integration of sandbox or the story and to the sandbox. I think it's a topic that can be like, let's say, misinterpreted or can be understood in different ways and so on. Even internally, we actually had some confusions around it. So I hope I'm communicating quite clearly. And for example, today, I don't know what I will write about, you know, in this week. We'll see. You know, we will have playtest on Wednesday. Tomorrow we will have team bi-weekly meeting with, you know, people presenting stuff. So maybe there will be something amazing and I will be just like enthusiastic and I will want to talk about it in the dev diary. So that's that. Maybe one last thing is that we are transferring the blog to a new platform. So, you know, like leaving Blogger and going to...
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long history.
And going to Blogger, and for the reasons that the Blogger actually is kind of buggy, you know, in the formatting sense, like it's strange. And so this has been like we have been preparing this for a long time, and a couple months ago I finally made the decision that let's do it, because it's not easy, because there is 15 years of history on that site, and we actually have to transfer it everything, and we are also transferring the comments.
Wow.
So luckily, you know, the people, they managed to do it automatically somehow, but it's still, you know, a lot of work, and you need to check the formatting of all these posts over the years. So I think it will be this week, or maybe next week, that we will have the new blog online, and it's in principle the same style. Like we want to keep it simple and also kind of old school, but slightly changing the visuals, just slightly, you know, like making sure that the font is more readable, more ergonomic, and so on. So I think it will be either this week or next week that we'll make it online. And again, people, I'm really happy if they like start visiting the Dev Diary every Thursday. They will be also able to subscribe to it, and then also leave their comments and let us know, because this is why we released Space Engineers 2 in early access, was that we wanted to get involved with players as soon as possible and get in the discussion and get their feedback, and, you know, also the emotional vibes and everything.
And that's why obviously we still have, obviously some players are still waiting to get SE2, but so many are already getting involved, are already having, you know, great conversations amongst themselves and with developers, and it's really, really great to see. And I want to actually I pause the chat here just to show you a couple comments here, Marek. We got Marek Diary, Best Diary. Love you guys and all the work you do to involve us. I played the first game back in 8th grade when it first came out, and I played it today to relaxed on Steam. And then Hamster says the dev diaries are great. I really enjoy reading them. Dev diary is great. Cyber kept to date with the game. So yeah, really a lot of passion. Wish every developer had such a transparent dev blog. There you go.
Yeah, thank
Love
you.
to see that stuff.
Like I'm really happy about doing the dev diary. It's like the closest I can be with the players.
Yeah.
And so that's good. And what else? Yeah, maybe some kind of like a disclaimer. Like, of course, at the beginning of every dev diary, there is a disclaimer that everything is subject to change and spoiler alerts. So, we are talking about things that maybe somebody doesn't want to know if they want, to wait until it's in the game. And also, some things that we are discussing may still be changed.
Sure.
So please take this really as a like important disclaimer, because if I was keeping embargo on everything and not talking like we used to do actually in the past, like we were really very careful about not talking about stuff that's not actually finished and not ready to be released. But this time with SE2 we decided to be more open, but it comes with a risk that sometimes I may say something that will be changed later, or will come later, or maybe we'll not even do it and I will forget, that I mentioned it on the dev diary. That's also possible. So please take all this as subject to change and not a promise. And definitely I'm not doing it because I want to, like promise some stuff in the dev diary and then not deliver and then feel like I lied to people. So really treat it like this is some kind of channel to my mind without censorship, and not everything will be in the game. I will probably in 3 years not even remember, many things that I mentioned in the dev diary. So please don't take it like those are promises. It's really just some kind of channel to my mind.
Well, that's really great, I think, to clarify, and I think it hopefully avoids cases of where someone's like, oh, you said on the 24th of April 2024 that this was going to happen or whatever, right? So yeah, that's we can read Marek's mind now, exactly. So that's really good stuff, and we're really pleased that you guys are enjoying the dev blogs. It's okay. It's going to continue. So stay tuned. Just moving through here, just the last couple of things, and that's that SE2 merch is available on Zazzle. So if you want to pick yourself up a nice T-shirt with SE2, jump on across to Zazzle. I'm sure we'll get some links in the chat for that. And again, just before we move on to the next segment, again, another huge shout out to the whole team for making everything that's happening possible, but also to the modders who've already jumped in, and we're going to get to those in a little bit here, but always wanted to give a big shout out to both teams of SE1 and SE2. It's always good to say that. So the next section here, we're going to share with you guys a new poll, and this poll is going to be basically related to primarily modding. We have, I think the guys can start linking in the chat. And the first question is the kind of mod you want to see more of, the kind of mod you want to be able to see moddable next. And then we have some just more general ones asking about your favorite survival games, your other favorite games that are moddable, and just some general gaming stuff. It's really interesting to know you guys, like, what survival games do you guys in the Space Engineers community like, I guess, other than Space Engineers? And then a final few questions that we have there is how easy have you found it to get into modding with Space Engineers on a scale of 1 to 10? And hold on a second. And this last question is how easy have you found it to kind of get mods into your game as well? So there's a couple of forms there, and these things, we'll continue to do these polls in the future. And on this whole topic, I kind of want to highlight. I mean, Marek basically, reached out and mentioned that someone on one of his recent blog posts had, commented something,
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing is that, the comment was saying about having on the live streams just dedicated to community feedback to show how seriously actually we are taking feedback is the key thing here. And I think we want to reinforce that every vote, and this is both here but also on the support site, every vote, bug report, or idea is actually seen, and it does matter. It's just obviously a matter of getting to them and processing that. And I'm sure Aaron and maybe Sam want to add something to this as well.
Yeah, as we're getting the various different feedback, the bug reports, we're processing them, we're relaying them onto the team, and then we're trying to prioritize which ones need to get sorted first, especially with the bug reports. And of course, there's lots of different circumstances where we need people to provide more information about the particular bug they ran into, or we want them to elaborate a little bit more detail on the feedback they're trying to provide there as well. So if you are going to write something upon the bug or feedback sort of sections, make sure you're ready to elaborate as well and check back to provide us with more information if we do need it. But the information that you provide there is absolutely critical, so we want to know what you're thinking, the issues that you're running into, so we can make Space Engineers 2 the best game possible.
Yeah, I second that. And also, we have, in the past when we released 1.5, took some suggestions with how the editor worked in certain scenarios and then implemented that suggestion. So it does happen. We have regular meetings about the feedback that's given to make sure the relevant teams are made aware of the things that are either a high interest or a problematic bug. So yeah, vote on the report your stuff and then get other people to vote on it as well if you feel strongly about it. It really does make a difference.
Thanks, guys. And maybe Chenda, I also wanted to speak from the team here, how the team is seeing and reading player feedback, and how maybe it's already kind of making changes to not changes, but maybe some altercations to kind of priorities. Maybe there's something that they really want to add, right now, for example.
Yeah, definitely. So of course the team gets the bug reports and suggestions from the support side through Aaron and the QA and our community support. So there is not direct interaction through support side from the developers, but our Discord, that's the place where we are definitely involved as a developers, and throughout in development of any update we involve CTG, our close testing group, early on. And it was actually instrumental in modding update to hear their suggestions and feedback on editor, on the tooling, and implementing them to get the flows as simple and understandable as possible.
Yeah, thanks, Jenna. That's I say it's all of this is just trying to encourage you guys as much as possible to get involved, and we really it's so important that we're transparent with you guys and you give us the feedback. And Space Engineers 2 is still so early in terms of what it's going to be, right? That's the key thing here. So get stuck in. So if there seems like there was a temporary glitch, I don't know why. It seems fine on this end, but if you are seeing some weird audio or anything like that, just F5. It could be on the stream ingest side, but it was 0.3% drop frames for a second there. So if you are having that, just give it an F5, guys. Thank you. And that's about it. So I mean, in terms of the kind of main reminders here, what we're going to do is get into the actual showcase, and we'll have some Q&A, I think, kind of throughout, but also at the end here as well. So just the last reminder to get your votes in on that poll that's shared. I think we'll ask the team to kind of paste that throughout the stream and get some feedback on modding in Space Engineers 2, and as well as a couple of other topics. And you'll see this a lot. I know Marek, I feels really strongly, not just about comments, but actually seeing some numbers. I mean, while it won't be every single player, it can be a nice mix of a subset of the players and getting their feedback on certain elements of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that will continue. So perfect. Right then, so let's switch over here to the game, and we're going to start to play and take a look at the mods we have. Have a look. Get us going here. This one.
So in the meantime, I can.
Joel. Good. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, I can just kind of say my opinion about the importance of modding. This having modding and community being able to mod the game was always the core. I wasn't even ever thinking about it as something like an extra idea or extra feature. It was always core to me that it's almost like that Space Engine is like an operating system, and anybody can mod or change the operating system and do whatever they want with it. So that kind of philosophy was always core to what we are doing, and giving players as much freedom as we can. That's the core behind it, basically. So that's why the game is sandbox, and that's also why we, of course, don't want to force the story and so on. But and the same reason is also behind modding, that players should be able and the community should be able to do whatever they want with the game.
I mean, it's a powerful message, and I think it's so true. And we'll start to see this in the mods that we're about to take a look at here. So we're in the game, guys. I'm just making sure we got audio.
Yeah, we've got some lovely footsteps there. Can you hear them?
Can you guys hear the footsteps as well?
Yeah.
That's good, I guess. Okay. So, straight off here, we're in the world, and I'm going to spin around our character here. And, hold on. Oh, you can't see, but let me turn around. And that is quite horrifying.
I didn't see this yet.
You didn't see this one yet? So this is the Dead Engineer mod. So this is, again, we're trying to get a mix of, let me just get my spectator here. We're trying to get a mix of, oh, you saw the next mod there.
Nice.
Let me come back down to here for a second. We're going to have some block mods, some character mods, and we'll try to get a list of these mods in the description afterwards. It'd be quite hard for me to get all the names of these modders right this second, because I have so many mods added. But if Aaron or Sam know the authors of these mods, please feel free to shout them out as we go through this.
Yeah, I'm getting up now.
Thank you. Yeah, so this was a fresh one, but quite horrifying. They've also modified I think the color slightly. I think.
Yeah.
maybe.
So the Dead Engineer skin was by the Fury Lion.
You're right the first time.
Oh, was it right the first time?
The Furry Lion. Shout out to Furry Lion then. And the next one that you might see here, this was based off, I think, a comment that Aaron made. So someone has made a skybox with my face in the sky. The Zocchi Nebula.
There is multiple. There is multiple skybox in the workshop of your face, I'm afraid, because of that stream.
So that was Aaron instigating that. Aaron was like, "Yeah, you could even put Zoc in the sky." So shout out to this. And do we have a name of this one as well, Aaron?
Wolf Knight, I think, is this one.
Shout out to Wolf Knight for putting my face in the sky. Amazing. So yeah, you can put your own face, or maybe Aaron, I think, said you could put your favorite pet in the sky, have a constellation or something. So kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Or you could just have a go at building a lovely star or sort of skybox. You could experiment with darker colors, lighter colors, purples, blues. You could even add sunsets and asteroids in the background if you wanted to, like some of the skyboxes we saw in Space Engineers 1. So there's loads of stuff you could do, and the skybox is one of the most simple tutorials to actually get your teeth into modding. So that might be a good starting point for some of you as well.
The comments are great as well. I knew it was going to happen. So the next mod actually is a fun one, and this was made by Miro, actually, guys. So this is the I think it's the Bob Ross paint mod. Can you hear the sound okay as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this one's an audio one. So we have our paint gun. If I bring up R here, we have a custom palette, and this is actually the Bob Ross paint palette here. Of his maybe Sam, you can remind me some of the names of these colors here.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, they've got specific names. They're like actual paint brands here.
So the colors we have are, I'm gonna absolutely butcher some of these words. It's Alzerian Crimson, Bright Red, Yellow Ochre, Cadmium Yellow, Indian Yellow, Pathalio Green, Sap Green, Pathalio Blue, Prussian Blue, Dark Sienna, Van Dyke Brown, Midnight Black, Mountain Mixture, and Titanium White.
So it's a custom palette here, but the real fun comes in with the paint gun. Are you ready?
We spend so much of our life walking around, looking.
So every time you use the paint gun, you actually get a Bob Ross quote. So I mean, it's very unexpected, but this is what you can do with Space Engineers 2. Let's have another one here.
We spend so much of our life.
Wait, hold on.
We spend so much.
Oh, oh,
It is random.
is it random? Wait.
Anyone can paint.
Oh, that's it. That's the quote. So,
What I'll say though is about with some of these funny mods that they're really good at encouraging people to get stuck in, because someone who's not modded at all will go, oh, you know what, I'll create something funny, and then it starts them. It's like the gateway into it, and then they go, oh, you know what, I'll make something a bit more serious this time. And we've seen a lot of people who've started with some sort of more silly fun mod, and then they go, oh well, next I've built something a bit more serious like a thruster or some sort of a conveyor or some junction. So yeah, building a fun mod is a great way of having a laugh, but also getting you into modding as well.
Not only that, it brings you together. There's actually a story behind this mod.
okay.
We, myself and Miro were working late, and we were trying to sort something, and we were waiting for something to build. And then we questioned. We were looking at mods as we often do, and he questioned, "Why isn't there a Bob Ross mod?" And we said, "Oh, we should just make one." And within half an hour, he had made the paint colors. I put all the sounds into Fmod, and we released it. And it was just like a fun thing to do after work, after we'd finished doing our work. The two of us just did this in half an hour, and we were laughing for a good 15 minutes as the points cycled
Now
through.
I get it. Yeah, it's the guy who's painting.
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't know the name.
Until you saw the picture of this mod. So if we get this in the chat, guys, you'll see exactly where there's a beautiful
Drop it in the
photoshopped
chat.
Marek with the glorious Bob Ross hair here. So yes, so this is again, this is showing a few things. Obviously, this is audio modding primarily here, so we can play one more Sat 701 here.
And this mod is actually maybe an interesting place to discuss the technology.
Sure, go
of
for
the
it.
modding. So maybe Chendo can say more.
Okay.
The philosophy, behind it.
Yeah. So main thing, kind of like coding rule for us, is not to hard code anything into the code itself, but put it into the definition. And in this case, there is a color palette, which is like just another data point in the assets. You can open it in the editor, and just make it a partial override. So you will override something that we did for the game, some data, and you will change the data. And you can change just part of the data. That's why it's called partial. So anything you are changing actually in the game, you don't have to redo it fully or do a copy. You can just change whatever fields you feel like, and the rest will stay the same. It will stay the same even when we will do the update. We will update, we will change something else, which is in this data set, and it will kind of inherit all our changes in the future updates. But it will keep your changes. So that's why it's partial. It remembers what you changed, and that keeps that even for future, even when we will changes.
And that's actually one of the points I think that we had earlier on. We didn't point out, but that again, first-party tools, it means faster iteration, but also better compatibility long term, right? Because I mean, one of those things is like, I think from SE1, at least early on, it was quite hard for modders sometimes to keep up, because things were being changed and added, and it was breaking mods, and it was causing, frustration in the past. So I think that's something that you guys are trying to avoid this time around, right?
Exactly. Imagine that you mod some block, and you just want to change some colors or some visual part of it, right? But in SE1, you had to copy whole block, do some change, but you had kind of fixed in all the values in your mod. And when we did, for example, some survival update with some rebalancing of values for all the blocks, you had to kind of do manual update of your mod with all the new values. Yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep up with the changes, right? So that's why partial, because you can do just surgical single change that you need on the block, like changing the model, and keep the rest the same from the vanilla game. And your mod will be kind of up to date all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
This is game changing for modders, 100%. I see the Bob Ross emotes in the chat, and of course, I saw a comment saying "Mod of the Year" right here. So I have one more quote then. Let's have a look.
I think sometimes we work too hard at painting. Painting should always be fun. Should make you happy.
So there we go.
You know what's interesting about this? I think all the quotes could probably be applied to modding as well.
So There's next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in a ship and I'm going to show you guys some voxel mods. I'm not sure if Marek has seen this yet. And actually, that might bring me on to one other mod, and that is... Hold on a second here. Let's first fly this ship and go to a nearby asteroid. Let's see one in the distance here. I don't know if, Chenda, you've seen this one yet, but it's weird seeing my face in the sky. Here we go. I'm flying away. We have plenty more mods. I'd say 32 mods, guys. We'll try and get through as many as possible within this time. There should be a nice variety of types here.
Yeah, we tried to have a look for a bit of everything, haven't we, really? And as we see more mods being created, there's some that I know the players are really interested in, like the thrusters, the cockpit animated, different bits. So there is some that are like a bit more hardcore, and there's some that are a bit more fun, and it's just the right amount of mix of that. We're not heading to a cheese asteroid by any chance, are we?
We actually are, but it's a lot further away than it looked like. It must be massive. I'm flying right towards it, but I think I picked one that's far away. We'll see. This is max Space Engineers 2 speed here.
But take a moment to appreciate the sound of the ship as well.
I
though.
know.
Like, as
Those
that
sounds,
ship
right?
is, powering up. Oh god, it sounds lovely.
Yeah, this one's... Hold on.
Yeah, I find that massively just walking through the world and you just hear all these different sounds, the different blocks. It really kind of pulls you into the universe.
So good. Great job to our sound. This is let me see here. This is one of the newer sounds, right? Like that was redone, I think.
Yeah. So when I was taking a look at how the sound was made, there were stacked layers on layers of sound to make the detail, and it directly affects with basically how you're propelling the ship forward and the speed that you're going. But no, it's absolutely fascinating.
It's very loud in our ears right now. But we're getting close to the asteroid. I'm about to reload the world to get back.
Also, Fmod is easier to use than you might think. I'd never touched audio stuff before. And it's actually quite intuitive to put sounds together and do different kind of compositions with it. So if you haven't tried sound mods because you're worried about how complicated Fmod is, give it a go, because it really isn't that bad.
Yeah, and sound modding comes with dedicated Fmod studio, right? Which is not made by Keen. It's actually Fmod created like editor for sounds. But it's, as some said, it's very powerful.
So that being said, say a player wanted to make the sound of their favorite ship and bring it into the game, could they? Is that something they could do?
Yes, for sure. Like all the
There you
sounds
go.
are moddable now.
We have arrived, guys, at the cheese asteroid. So this is a cheese voxel texture that was made by one of the players. I think I've also seen ice. Have you seen some other ones, Aaron, out there?
Yes, I've seen some very interesting ones out there. I've seen everything from wooden asteroids to this cheese one. I've seen a cheese one with bigger cheese craters in as well. I believe.
Have you now? I haven't. I think this was one of the first. This was actually pretty early on. This was in a couple of days. The guys had added cheese to the game. So again, you never know what players are going to make, right?
Is it the consistency of cheese? What's the collision?
It's a hard cheese, that's for sure.
It's a hard
It's
cheese.
a hard
Stilton.
cheese, yeah. The color's quite different on the different monitors, interestingly enough. It's more yellow on more of the preview monitors. I think that the one on the left is probably more accurate. So yeah, we've seen several voxel mods already as well. The chat's saying take a bite. Faction Rat claims this asteroid. Oh, fantastic. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to reload the world, because I'm just going to go back to the start point here, and we can have a look at some more.
Oh, lovely. Too many missed the opportunity to blast some cheese with the debug gun.
We actually just did.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. We're not up there yet in the stream.
So I'm going to pull up here and let me run into the ship. I need like some kind of dark area here for this. I'll use my Bob Ross paint gun as well.
By the way, in the meantime, there was a question in the chat
Sure.
if Keen Software House ever gave a presentation at GDC. So, Chendo?
Yeah, of course. Like we were at GDC, I think, 3 years ago, where I had a presentation regarding the Space Engineers 1 multiplayer. Because essentially it's unique because of its special requirements, because you have physics in a play and you have some, let's say, hierarchy. You can have character running inside of the ship, which is docked inside other ship, and that ship is controlled by different player, and this all has to work well, especially with high latency situations. So like we wanted to have prediction everywhere. So when you press the key, you don't have to wait for the server to calculate it, but you can right away run on the client, and then server just corrects it when it's wrong. And that's very hard when essentially multiple players are affecting the simulation at the same time. So that's essentially what the presentation was about.
And you happen to also have the first one, you actually had the Space Engineers cosplay on as well, didn't you? Oh, not on the presentation, but at the event.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Definitely. We have been multiple times on GDC, and we had the astronaut with us.
And I do believe if you want to check them presentations out, you can have a look at them on the GDC vault as well. And they are still stored on there.
Definitely. So in the meantime here, I've been placing down some orbs. Now, from a model point of view, these orbs, they're orbing. But I think what's so nice about this, and it was in the preview image for this stream, is the fact that it's a great way of kind of showing the ray tracing of Space Engineers. If you see what I mean, we put some different ones here. They're not light, so I can actually color them with the paint tool. We still have our Bob Ross palette here, so they're a little bit different colored as you might see normally. But pretty cool, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's sort of a light. It's emissive surface, so it emits light, but only in indirect lighting. So in ray tracing.
Right, yeah.
And that's essentially a new thing that we have in SC2, that we do indirect lighting, which is light that bounces around, and we actually simulate the bounces and then calculate the light correctly.
I mean, whenever I jump in SC2, it's always the same thing. Like the lighting is what always immediately blows my mind. It's super satisfying. And I think this mod, they say it's emissives, right? But just seeing the way, like we've got the armor on the floor, and just seeing how we have all these colors and the way they're just being just very pretty, unbelievably pretty here.
Very satisfying.
It is epically satisfying. And Aaron, do we have a name for this mod creator here? I would love to get their name out.
Yeah, I'll try and bring it up as quickly as possible. I was just responding to the comments in chat, asking various modding questions, just trying to get them to clarify it.
I love these comments here. SE2 looks so good. I love the ray tracing in SE2. This is how you guys, yeah, it's true. Bull Slayer has some glow blocks as well here. So let's see if we get to that. Let's have a look. So this was the orbs. It was just a really, this, for us in the studio here, this monitors max brightness, and it's still kind of dark, but it's not as bad on the actual stream. I think you can see on the left here. It's more like this. I don't know why it's like this, but
I think, Joel, there is a wrong preset of this.
I've tried. The gamma's maxed out, the brightness is maxed out. Like maybe there's something I'm missing, but I tried my best, but it should be more like this. So at least the stream sees it nicely. Nice. So that was the orbs as well. So if we're going to go now to a bigger block, I'm going to get this up here. Oh, it's not called the reactor. It was called let me see here. You guys can see we're full of new mods here, and
I have.
Go on.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I have the author of the spheres.
Okay.
It's by Lazy Noof.
Lazy Noof. Wow. Stunning orbs. It's orbing time, as I saw a chat comment. Love it. Do we happen to have... Actually, do we have modders? Just give me a little show of hands in the chat, like an 07 or something. If we have modders blessing us in the chat tonight, are you in the chat? Let us see. Maybe it's not your mod shown yet, but I'd love to see how many modders are watching today. So I just saw it. What did I just go? Oh yeah. So another kind of crazy mod, and I know this was one. I'm gonna get a few up here. This is what I wanted to get, and I know we had the Stargate mod as well. There's always a Stargate mod, so let's come outside here and get down the Stargate here. There we go. Now I remember the first Stargates mod in SE1, but we now have, look at this, guys. We're seeing some beautiful, the detail of this stuff. I mean, I remember the Stargates mod in SE1, and they were never like this kind of, animated blocks. And maybe, Chenda, you can say something about that as well, because I think doing this in SE1 was really hard, I think, right?
I think it's doable in SC1 as well, but not for modders, as far as I can
For
tell.
modders is what I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, for modders
It's
specifically.
not exposed. It's not data-driven. Right now, we have just very simple animation component, rotation component, which you can place on the block. Make some hierarchy of the subparts, connected together and animated with their own components. So it's very simple to put it together, actually.
But that's honestly so good because we have it in lots of our vanilla blocks. Like having something moving, if it's spinning or whatever it is, it's very satisfying, and I guess it helps to make the world feel like alive. I guess even though it's like a block. But this is super detailed as well here. Aaron, do you happen to know? Because this was one that I added very last. This one I only saw near towards the end. This isn't a functional mod, is it? Or does it work?
Oh, I'll have to double check. This is one you've pulled some of these mods out of the abyss. Some of these have not even been tagged correctly.
Yeah, I don't think it's functional as of yet.
Not yet.
You know it will be. You know it will be. Probably because that comes down to the scripting, right? So as soon as the guys give access to scripting mods, you know that this beautiful Stargate is actually going to act as a teleportation device. It's going to be awesome.
So this one was created by Logogo and Stone Lords, and they have got some planned features for it.
Oh,
They plan on having a functioning dialing system.
Amazing. Logogo's in the chat actually. Logogo, what's up?
Yeah, so I don't know how far they'll go with this one, but I guess as more modding features happen and they make some adjustments to it, maybe it will dial a portal. Maybe it'll be something they can go through and utilize.
Amazing. It's super, super cool. Honestly, this was one of the ones that I hadn't actually seen yet. I saw it and I was like, okay, let's look at Stargate. But I didn't expect it to have the spinning parts. That's a very nice surprise
Before
there.
you put this one away, though, is there a button panel as well that goes with it?
I don't think so.
Okay, because just on their listing on Steam Workshop, there is a little dial, so you can call it or press a button.
I didn't see.
Press R on it, Joel. Maybe it's under the same block group.
You reckon? Let's have a look. Hold on.
That's my guess.
I'm not seeing it. Well, we got logo in the chat. Maybe it's not ready yet. Maybe this is just the ring. Let's see. Lay them horizontally. Yeah, that'd be funny.
But as you were mentioning that there should be teleportation, so far it's just data modding, but we have actually plenty of components already in game which are not yet used in the game itself. They are programmed, but they are lying there and waiting to be used in the future. And we will probably see some of the mods utilizing them. For example, not a router, right?
Yeah, we're going to get to that one in a second.
Yeah.
So just to jump in, Logogo said it's called the DHD.
I've got it. I've got it here.
Oh, nice.
Let me actually get this in, and I'm going to come in my spectator and have a closer look at the model here. Let's have a little look here. It's very dark on our monitor, but we can have a look on the left screen. Slightly small. Fantastic.
Wow. Just waiting to make it functional.
Just waiting, ready and waiting for you, Chend, and the team to give him access. No pressure. Yeah, it's amazing though. Very cool, and it's great because we saw these very early on in Space Engineers 1, so it's awesome to see it back for SC2.
But speaking of those components that we have already, I was just wondering, we have there all the components for planets and water and everything, and it's still no mod enabling them. Guys.
Well, I've seen some. I saw one. I don't think we have it up. I did see a basic moon mod, I think, and people have been messing around with. Day one of the release in January, people had access to water and they were doing some crazy experiments. A lot of it wasn't properly functional yet, but they have had access to it. I just don't know if they're able, what they're able to publish as a mod, as opposed to editing the game files. You see what I mean?
Yeah, because we have seen a few water worlds being published. But I was under the impression at one point we removed the ability to access it as easy. So they're working on probably another way of getting at it.
Yeah, we made it a little bit harder to access it, not to spoil it, but it's still doable, guys.
If you put the work in, guys, you can make it happen.
You might be able to make a gun that spawns planets. I haven't tried it. But
I'm thinking
about the components that we have. And we might be able to find a way to use a gun to spawn planets.
That's Yeah, watch out. You know, I always forget it because I think the icon's different, but I'm looking for that. So I've got a few here that I want to look at, but there was one that's called, it's like this drive, Aaron. It's like quantum drive or something. I always forget the name of it. And I think
Is it hypergrav drive?
I think it uses a different, it might reuse an icon.
Is it the low effort expanse like Epstein drives?
No, it's not that one either. But every time I look for it, I can never find it. But someone in chat will help me out probably. But in the meantime, I'll have a look at some other mods that we have here. So this is the small access door. So we can have a look at this. Here we go.
This was a nice one.
Look at that.
Everyone loves a door.
Look at
Just
those
for the
animations. How satisfying is that? I don't know if you can go. I wonder if you can go through it here. Hold on, if I fly through.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Flex
Oh, you
first.
can. Yeah, you can. If you can't crawl through it, but you can fly through it. But incredibly satisfying animations there. It'll make a noise like.
Don't start doing that again. We'll start applying
There we
that audio
go.
to things.
By the way, I hope the outros of this mod are on the stream right now.
We've got some, I think. And any else in the chat that we've had a look here? I'm curious.
If you are there in the chat, please, like say your name and which mod was yours. So, people can thank you and also we can thank you. Because this is really
a few modders in chat.
amazing. That's it, like we make the game, modders make the mods, and we have fun together.
And here we go. We got a new cockpit here. Let me paint this. I'm gonna go. Let's check out this one. This is the Vindicator cockpit. Look at this. Really, really nice, to be honest. If I get just to compare it to the original cockpit here, just how it's sized.
Just going on a little bit as well from what Marek said before as well about thanking the community members. Like these mods are what help keep a game going in many ways. Like a lot of people will add a mod and then someone else will pick it up. New people will see that mod and come and join that, and it makes like Marek was describing before a whole subcategory within that game. Like if maybe you go into the naval ship battles, maybe you start playing with the aircraft. There's going to be all these subsections in the future of Space Engineers 2, and it's going to be really exciting to just see what develops from it. And from that point moving forward, players are going to just love indulging in whatever sort of niche they are into within this game.
And that's the key thing, and it's definitely something that, like, in some ways modders can beat the like if there's something that you want to have right now, then you can kind of make it happen in many ways. Not everything, of course, but also there will be things that we won't do from kind of like a vision point of view, but if it's not there in the original game, you can mod it in. I think that's definitely the case. Like, for example, in SE1 there's so many things, both from visual blocks, but then shields, right? Shields has been a big conversation, and Marek touched on shields a little bit in this recent combat blog post, but it's always been a hot topic. But players, regardless of Keen's decisions, they have modded in shields since forever. So it's that will always be a solid option, I think. So I have a few other things here. So I also have a flight seat. Oh, it's called the Golden Throne. So here we go. You can look down here. So this is like, I think it was called basic flight seat on the workshop here. Yeah, already such a range of mods. In that one shot, we've got cockpits, hatches, stargates, and now I'm gonna actually show you guys the what's number not. Oh, yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna show you guys the not a rotor here. Are you ready? Let me see if I can do it again. So not a rotor. I'm gonna place this down. I'll place it let's have a bit more space. Hold on, maybe I'll come over here. Okay. So here we have not a rotor. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to spawn a top. So now we have a top on top of the rotor. And I'm really curious, Chanda, what kind of magic they're using to do this. But then what we'll do is here, we'll get a detailing cube on. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, detailing cube on this. Spin a line out, for example. Get a thruster. Because it doesn't function like, that's why it's called not a rotor, because it doesn't have any power. The guys, I guess, because of scripted modding and so on, they're not able to do that. But they found a way that if you build something like this, Let me see if I access the terminal now. And oh no, and now I think I turned this, but then if I now do the thruster here, no, it's oh wait, I have to add a. Let me think here.
Just bump to it.
Oh yeah, well that's true. I can just bump to it. Yeah, thank you, Chenda.
It's not infinite.
Yeah, it's not
but
infinite.
It will turn for a while.
For some time, yeah. There we go. So people, who was this? And this creator, could we get a shout out for them as well? That would be great. But already, I know one of the big things, Marek, other than like VS2 and Planet Survival. A lot of people really want mechanical blocks because this is, in terms of crazy contraptions. Yeah,
They already have it.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, SC2 is finished.
Exactly.
By the way, Chindo, maybe you can say a little bit more about how it's possible actually to have this mod in the game so early if we don't have rotors officially in the game.
Yeah. So actually, as I said, we have been working for past many years on many aspects of the game in parallel, like planets, water, and this is one of them. We at the start we wanted to double check that the rotors and pistons will be as stable as possible. So we did the test. We implemented the basic functionality to know where are the problems, to map the field essentially, and this is just the modder using those components to their disposal, and yeah, that's it.
They made it happen.
Dragon.
I'm trying to get the dragon. Yes, there is a dragon seat here, guys. Hold on a second.
If it's the one I think it is, this is actually a rideable mount. So
It
you
is,
spawn
it
in
is.
and then jump on it.
I'm trying to get it going here. So we've created like a dragon ride here. Who would have thought, right? Oh, hold on. I might need to build this out a little bit here. The things you can do with modding in Space Engineers, am I right? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so the rotor, not a rotor, was created by Inflex, by the way. So shout out to Inflex.
Okay. Shout out.
We all know that Inflex character, you know.
We do. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, here we go. This is what the thing about modding, right? Oh no, I deleted it. Oh, hello. Almost there, guys. Thank you for your patience. Got to get this dragon going because it's something different here. So look, we got a dragon.
Go around.
A dragon in Space Engineers 2, confirmed. And now we're gonna just delete these blocks, and I'm gonna get on top of this dragon because this is stopping the. There we go. Hold on. I'm gonna block it here. Oh. There we go. And let me get my character here to have a look at this. Now this is modding. It's going absolutely ridiculously speed. So we got modders, we got rotors. Let me if I hop this off and just actually delete the it's going out of control here. Delete this. I can probably just push it.
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is by the fairy line as well.
Another build with a fairy line here. So yes, you can make merry-go-rounds. Yes, that is confirmed. So
I think one time we'll have to try how many rotors on top of rotors we can put together.
I know.
In the demo one, they put a rotor on top of this rotor, and then another beam, and then another rotor and another beam. So everything's spinning every other way. It looks fantastic.
It's really crazy. I mean, we're already seeing such a wide range of mods. I mean, even today, I hope we've still got more to look at here, but I hope you guys can see that there's so much is being created out there. Hold on. Is it? Oh yeah, the furry line is in the chat as well. Furry line and CZ. So actually, I have to wonder. Furry line, are you Czech? I would assume so, but good to have you with us tonight. Right, I've got to find that block, and it always evades my search here. I can go to the workshop if in doubt, and we might actually want to go to the workshop and have a look there as well, but. It's hidden very well, but the name is... We can have a look at the Epstein drive as well. That's pretty cool as in terms of a modded thruster. So let's come to our red ship here. I'm going to install some of these thrusters, I think. There we go. This is the... Oh, wait. I think it's under the... find them here. I go down to, let's have a look. And we asked in the poll, I'm really curious, guys, what, I guess, maybe I'll ask Marek as well. Like, is there, right now, I imagine you just want to see more of everything, Marek, but is there, are there certain mods that you have like a wish to see, if that makes sense? Like someone modding this into that or something like that. I think the community might see it as a challenge as well. So if you have any ideas, of course, let's, or Chenda. Let me see.
Well, I was interested in seeing some planets from you guys.
Oh, well, that we might have to wait a little longer, actually, to see if we see any planets. Well, one of the things...
I tell you what I like to see. I like to see, like, you know, functional blocks that you can use in the ship, like the cockpits and the thrusters, because I feel like a lot of people then can grab them and, you know, get them into a design pretty much straight away. Where sometimes the more wild things like the dragons, it's hard to implement a dragon into your design. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe you can implement a dragon and I'm just not seeing it in that way. But yeah, like more functional, like the cockpit blocks, thrusters, seats, you know, interior parts for your ship, the lockers that's popped up as well, like anything that can just add to the detailing within your ship. We've also, I don't know if you got it, where they changed the armor texture in a mod. Have you seen that one yet?
Yes, I have. I didn't want to put it on because it changes quite a lot of things, but I was planning to load into a separate world to look at that.
The bloody armor.
I think it's called the meat armor, actually.
Meat armor,
meat armor, yes. I just didn't want to put it on immediately.
The blood is inside, right?
I didn't want to like load in. It was just going to be full of meat everywhere. So
well, we asked for cake. We asked for cake armor, but we got meat armor instead. So,
but Aaron, as you mentioned, you can actually mod the dragon so he's flyable, sittable, and everything else together, and even as a gyroscope. Because, like, just a technical insight. This time, our blocks are not hard-coded as just raster or as just gyroscope, but we have a component system. So you can actually apply multiple components on a single block and make it a thruster in all direction, make it a gyroscope, make it a seat, and this all together. So actually this nice dragon that you've shown us can fly, turn around, and be a seat in one, like all in one, essentially.
Yeah, and I think that
and animate.
And animated as well, flapping animation coming soon.
No, that would be something to see, wouldn't it? That would be really cool.
I found it what it was, guys. It wasn't a thruster. It was the singularity reactor here. So it was grouped under the vanilla reactors. That's why I couldn't find it. So look at this team, huge reactor, and I want to get this pasted down somewhere I can fit it, just to show the scale of it. It's one of the biggest blocks I've seen. But if we come in here, it's a little bit like SE1, where you can put it inside of a ship, and it has, like, you know, walkway, so you can walk around it inside. But look at this. So basically, there's a singularity in the center of this, and it's giving off a huge amount of energy. But I love the texture they used here, like these kind of reflective panels, and of course the lovely glass that we have in Space Engineers 2. Got some access panels here, and it's got this noise, you know. So this was something that was, again, pretty early on, but really cool. I'm not sure about what I'm not sure about. This is by Una, by the way. So shout out to Una, who created the Singularity reactor. But I really do like how they use those kind of walkable things. I mean, let me like, for example, if I get an armor block here, I could start building out. Hold on. Oh, I scrolled through. My bad. Oh, that's what I wanted, but bigger. There we go. So this could be inside of your ship, and you would just walk around it. But it's, yeah, very, very nicely done. Debug gun? You want me to shoot it? We could see that, because that's another interesting thing, of course, is fractures, right? The fact that modders can create fractures. Yeah. And I'm not sure if I've seen it yet.
I've seen it, and actually I'm quite amazed that modders picked up. It's not easy to create block for SE2. In a sense, like, of the model itself, because like we have all those new features like textures, materials which they can use, and on top of it we have fractures and deformations. But yeah, I've seen others are actually adopting it, using it in their blocks. So job, guys.
We can see if there's any fractures here. This is like a test. No pressure, guys. I know it's. I'm just curious if any of these blocks. Let's see.
But that being said, it doesn't mean you have to add fractures to your block. If you're getting into modding, then you don't have to add it in.
Let's see. Hold on. This is vanilla blocks. So possibly not yet, because I think it's just probably
maybe you need to destroy it a little bit more.
That
so
one,
not this one.
Yeah.
And this is.
The Stargate's probably really tough, is what I'm actually realizing. It's probably got like infinite block health. Oh no, that one disappeared as well. So if Logo's saying my cable mod. Now Logo, I have your cable mod on the server here. So let's have a little look. Logo's saying that their logo mod.
But by the way, I want to mention one thing that every time you go to G screen, I remember I want to say to talk about it. So there is a little spoiler for this week. Dev Diary will be showing a screenshot from in-game of colored icons. Ooh. So people who are here today, they get a first chance to this. Of course, it's a small thing. It's not like like programmer work for many months or so, but it took some time definitely to artists, and so we will have colored icons or colorful icons in the game.
That's huge. Actually, that's really huge.
I hope our artist didn't do it by stealing this icon. Because that would be funny.
Well, because actually, if you look at the screen, guys, I actually have
it's quite colored already. Yeah.
Well, no, because I have the colorful icon mod on.
Okay.
So this mod that I'm on this screen, you can see here, is here rather than the blue. So that's actually, thank the Lord, yay, colorful icons confirmed, woo, colored icons, that's crazy. So I will give a shout out here to Dutton, Dutton, because they made a mod on the 30th of June, making the icons colorful, and it actually has, it's got over 1,000 subscribers actually.
There's something quite interesting about this mod as well, because the creator has painstakingly zoomed in on the actual icon and then painted it by hand. Painted the color over the existing icon to bring this mod to life.
Nice.
So yeah, like a lot of time has been spent going through each block and coloring it in.
That's amazing. That's actually funny because I added so many mods to this server. I forgot that I added, because again I was trying to set a mix of mods, and one of them was the colorful icons mod. So that's very cool. So shout out to Dutton, and I mean I guess at the same time it's a preview, guys, of how your G screen might look in the future. And Marek, I have to ask: will this be an option, or will this be just the switch you're making?
This will be default thing.
Okay, so there it is.
It's already in the dev build, so that's that. And I'm trying to remember what was the thinking there and decision process. Maybe I think actually that we saw some feedback from players, some survey, and since the HUD is still work in progress. And we'll actually be polishing the HUD in the future. We also decided that with colored icons, it's much easier to actually understand what the icon is about, or what the block or the tool is about.
Yeah.
And it's just like the color is extra information. And so we decided to rather make that switch now than later.
I mean, it's a lot easier to do it now. Well, there's still a lot of blocks, but there will be more blocks, of course. So that's actually, I can see the chat. Look, default. Zero's Legion is losing it in the chat. And there's going to be a video. Let's see it. Let's see it, Zero.
I was going to add in there, like the colors can also give you a lot of information, especially with the connectors and stuff. You can glance now at that icon and go, well, that's something to do with conveyors or some sort of connection port there, especially with the connectors there and some of the other blocks. And even they've done with the custom pipe mod here, they've used that color yellow to represent a connection port. So we can give a lot of information to the player by using colors as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I seen it last week on the playtest for the first time. And to be honest, the game actually felt twice as more pretty with the color icons. Just to have them on the toolbar.
Yeah.
It's a small thing. And actually, I think that once we will also make prettier HUD in the future, it will be, also the game would feel even nicer.
That's actually probably, again, I know you guys, you came for a modding showcase, but you never know when you might get some sneak peek news on these streams. So, yeah, love to see it. So we have another very nice mod here. This was made actually. It was probably made a couple days after release, and I'm just gonna pull it up this here as well. We have like some lockers here, guys. Have you seen these ones, Aaron?
I have seen this. This one kind of ticks my OCD. Like I just want to go over there and organize
Clean it
them.
up, yeah.
You know what I mean? Sort of, I want to put some things back in the shelf. I mean, is there an organized version of this one? Because that would, I think I'd
Wait,
fit
let
the
me
organized
check. Let
one
me
to my
check.
ship.
Wait. That's the structural block template. Wait a second.
It could have been they've just not changed the name of it.
Oh, they have some variants though. Look at this. This one has some tools, has some different things.
One is messier than other.
Yeah. This one's got grinders, got little racks to hold the grinders in. So very cool stuff here.
Is there organized one?
I don't see. Let me see.
For Aaron.
Wait, we got structural blocks. There's two here. I don't see an organized one here. Is there an organized one? Maybe you guys know about it. Maybe there's an organized version out there. I haven't.
I wonder if is Chip in chat. Maybe he can tell us.
It's Chipstick. Yeah, this is a Chipsticks mod, isn't it? Very nice. Chipsticks is a legendary modder. Let's have a look here. So we've got a retro console here. Look at this, guys. Oh, hello. Oh, wait. There we go. So we got all the kind of like I say diodes and tape recorder. So a retro is that like a kind of like a copper almost there? Very Fallouty.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw this one. I thought it was very Fallout. Perfect for your bunker, isn't it? Or some sort of technical room in your ship, maybe your command and control room.
With the green, with the kind of the old school screen as well. Very nice. Stonelord says, nah, it is the messy locker mod. You have to suffer. There you go. You have to mod the mod to get clean.
Yeah, there
Which,
you go.
by the way, is a thing that we don't have yet, but is something that we designed from the beginning, that you can build mods on top of mods.
Okay.
And this, like, partial definitions that we have will work on top of the mods as well. So you can use some mods features, change them a little bit, just like here and there, but still keep all the updates from that original mod.
Wow.
To get to. But this is just sneak peek for future. These dependencies, we haven't included them in the 1.5 release. We will release them in the future.
That's still, there's been tons of sneak peeks in today's stream, so I appreciate you guys for sharing this. I'm sure the community will love this. And actually, we have another mod here, and you'll notice that it's blinking. This is the, I think it's called the glowing, well, what's the name of the block?
Glowing sign mod, I think it was.
Glowing sign mod, yeah. So we have hazard strips here, hazard strip blue, hazard strip green, hazard strip orange, purple, red. So they're interested in the colors this way, I guess. And yeah, they're actually blinking. So I guess this is emissive probably, right, Chandler? This is probably emissive textures that are turning on and off. Because
I guess so. We can go into some dark area, try it there. Maybe it will be
yeah,
doing
because
the same thing as the spheres.
Like here, for example, they have the landing gear, which are vanilla blocks. You see them blinking. So I imagine it's using the same kind of tech as that. So cool to see here.
That's another lazy noof one.
I see a lot of Lazy Noof mods. When I open the workshop, there's a ton of Lazy Noof mods. So big shout out to Lazy Noof, cooking. And Marek, go on, Marek.
By Joel, are we running the poll?
Yeah, the poll is we can. I'll ask the guys to repaste that again in the chat so people can get the poll going.
It's also been linked at the top of the chat now, so it's pinned up there pretty much, so you can see the poll and interact with it, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, and again, the poll will really help us. So if you have a chance, please, send your vote. Even last time when we had the poll, and it was kind of like spontaneous. And then we ran like less spontaneous and proper one later, a couple days later. This was very useful because it showed us that basically most of the players are waiting for planets and survival, and which was good to hear because it means that the order of development that we decided on a long time ago is the correct one. So
No, it's good, and I think that's been the repeated message of today's stream is that I guess transparency, but the feedback, everything is super important, and we're gonna hammer it home, guys. So keep an eye out on all the socials and everything for more polls, both I guess spontaneous, but also more organized ones. So I'm trying to get through again. We have a lot of mods, but I'm trying to get through another mix here. So this mod is a thruster mod, and this is the Epstein drive mod, and this is basically it's basically from I've gone black. Wait, the
Expanse.
The Expanse. Yes, thank you. So if we see here, you can see the plumes, and then when I thrust in 3, 2, 1, basically huge plumes, very very powerful thrust. And if you know the Expanse, you know the show, you see these huge powerful flames like this. So this is again taking vanilla engines but just giving the thrust I guess more power, but also larger visuals. So from a distance you see this thing firing off like that. Yeah, so that's another mod there. Can't wait for the 10G ship. Tigor says, I'm working on new effects in the editor right now. So we've got modders modding as we stream, guys. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Careful, might blow itself up. Yeah, but I will be careful, I promise. So this wasn't... I've seen a couple of thruster mods, actually, Aaron. I think there was another one out there, wasn't there? Like a... I think there was one that was more flaming.
There's a giant thruster somewhere as well that we need to have a little bit of a look at. I think we saw it in the last little test. It was out and available. But that one's more of like a traditional, more of a NASA sort of thruster with lots of pipe work going on and big engine cells.
Speaking of that, we have... Yes, this is what I want to look at here. So this is the Halo weapon mod by Jakaria. So here we see some weapons being modded into the game. And these are obviously, this is the M7 SMG, and we have the M6 Magnum gun. And this is very Halo, flashbacks here. So we have the sound as well. So no iron sights just yet, but already players modding in kind of first person weapons. And then we have the SMG, which I think has custom sounds. So pretty cool, right? I've kicked off the flames here. So already I feel like we're creating like this cinematic experience. It's like, oh, we've taken damage, and it's like you got to escape, and I can kind of and the running animation there as well. There we go. So another kind of example of the variety of what modders are up to. Weapons of mass destruction. I wonder if... no, this might be one for Chenda here. I mean, I think Upol says, I wonder if custom animations can be added for handheld weapons. Is that something that people can do right now?
I believe so.
Yeah, because we have the trigger, like the finger.
And it's like animations are available for all the prefabs. Weapon is just prefab, same as block.
Yeah,
So,
should be good then. So you might see some animated weapons soon, guys. Hold on, through the door. This was I'm just seeing here. This SMG gets me so stoked for character combat. Well, again, this was one of the hottest topics recently. Was actually those orbs down there. Was Marek talking about combat in Space Engineers? So, Marek, I actually have to ask in terms of since you posted that and you had all the feedback, have you already taken some really interesting insights in the community about what they were saying about combat, right? Because you kind of mapped out how you see it.
Yeah. There was a lot of it. I still didn't have time to sit down and go through all of it and structure it. That's still on my to-do list,
Sure.
but I will do it. And because the feedback was from all kinds of ways. For example, like the balancing between different kind of weapons based on distance, based on if the shield can stop them or not, and then balancing based on speed of the ship, or if you want to go hand-to-hand combat or grid-to-grid combat. And then many people are actually interested in stealth mechanics, and then also how to defend, from the stealth mechanics and all these things. So I will be analyzing it, and yeah, for now I just have a folder where I was putting all this feedback, and if for example there was some nice video where somebody was talking about these and with good comments from the players, I put it into that folder, and I will look on it when I will have time for it.
Perfect. No, it was really one of the hottest discussed so far, but I know it will continue. So I have another one here that I wanted to show you guys. I meant to show it earlier, and this is the animated cockpit. Are you ready for this? So this had the normal cockpit. If I press R, I have the animated version here. So if you look at this, we see the glass is open. I can press F.
Nice.
To close it. Again, this is pretty cool stuff.
This is another Stone Lords one, I believe.
Yeah, I see Stone Lords in the chat as well. So big shout out to Stone Lords.
Thank you.
This is incredible. Look at that. It's super. I know. I think that's why so many of the vanilla blocks already have animations, because it's just so satisfying when you see animations like this. So I can open it up. I can hop in. Hold on. Oh, I'm attached to the thing. So yeah, there we go. We want. This is a Stone Lord special. There you go. Oh, and yeah, it's true actually. I think I see Drewy in the chat. Big shout out to the Grok. The Grok made a very nice video indeed. I know Aaron. Also has seen that one, right? Have you seen that video by the Grok yet, Marek?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just noticed that we were shouting out, and the Grok is in the chat too. Very nice. Yes, love to see it. Zot, close and open it fast. Like this? I can do that, right? Wow. Amazing. So that was animated cockpits. What haven't we seen yet, do you feel like, guys, in terms of types of mods? Because I might have to be more selective now. Can you think of one we haven't seen? Maybe Aaron or Sam, anyone that I could
perhaps the meat mod?
Oh, okay. Well, I have to reload the game.
I just think that one is like it's yeah, that one's in your face. That's
okay.
A big
well,
one.
I'll have to reload the game here because I didn't put it on, so I'll have to reload the game. And what we can do is we can have a little browse through the workshop and have a look here.
I think we haven't seen any armor blocks yet.
This is what I would say. There's some armor shapes that have been.
There is a ton.
Yeah.
This is a big thing in SC2 actually, because like in SC1, like players were always asking for the new shapes, right? And you can go infinitely complicated with the shapes of the armors. And unfortunately in SC1 it was hard-coded, so we had to kind of do it always like internally.
Yeah.
So now modders can go batshit crazy and do all the shapes that they just imagine.
Drew is recommending the gravity tubes as well.
Okay, sure. Let me make
gravity tubes are amazing.
I'll make a new world here. I'm just bringing this out of the game where hold on.
I've seen some like the longer slope armors. There's been some huge armor blocks. There's thin armor blocks. So people have really kind of jumped on that ability to make true armor shapes in Space Engineers 2, and they've really kind of took that creativity and ran with it.
I have so many mods installed now. It takes a second for them, but I'm going to load them in, and I'll change the skybox as well. So I'll have a look and try to think what else we have. And what I'll do, actually, what I'll do is I'll also browse the workshop here. You guys can see. Hold on. Come back in here. Wait for this. And I want to browse the workshop and just have. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure we've all kind of gone over the workshop here, but just to kind of not look at all of them, but just highlight the kind of mods that we're seeing on the workshop here. Even if we're not going to have time to showcase them today, I want to show them here. I already have like 60. Like I don't know how many. I think we're up to 300 mods on the workshop. Is that right, Aaron? About.
Oh,
and you have them all subscribed?
No. I have like I have like 60 probably, or 50 subscribed. So
it shouldn't load that long.
Well,
that's
there you go, guys.
something
Chenda's gonna look into that. The more mods come. So I'm gonna browse first. So here we have the mods, and it's sorted by most popular. Funnily enough, the not rotors at the top. We got slope filling. We got the Halo weapons, the Stargate, interior walls I haven't checked out, the new cockpit, the cables, the colorful icons, the rocket propulsion systems, the singularity reactor. So I have looked at a lot of the big ones here, but there's many more. Messy lockers, light panels. So I'm just going to scroll over here, and you can see, too many slopes. Oh, I'm not on that one yet. Let's get the too many slopes then. That sounds like fun.
179 mods, from what I can see, Joe.
179, and then and it will grow. We've got more character mods. We've got this is one I am subscribed to, the 1 meter armor blocks as well, because obviously we have like 0.25, we have 5, and 2.5, but people are looking at what about something in the middle? So they have a whole collection of 1 meter mods.
I can comment on this.
Sure.
I don't know if Sam would remember, but we had a lot of discussion actually what should be the basic sizes, and maybe I remember correctly, but I think Sam, you were behind it, right? Like behind the sizes and everything, and the decision that we should go with 25 centimeter, 50 and 2.5 meter, because originally we also wanted, I think, 1 meter or 1.5. I don't remember.
I think 1 meter.
1 meter, yeah. And then for some reason, maybe Sam will remember better than I do, we decided that it will not be needed so much, so we keep it simple. Plus, of course, people can always mod it. So maybe Sam, you want to add something?
I think it was that there was just so much choice, which meant that the vanilla offering would be very difficult to then build with, and we wanted it to kind of feel like Space Engineers, so you know the 50, you know the 2.5, and then you could build with those kind of known sizes on your grid, and then people obviously decided they want millimeters as well. So as always, you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. But I think it was simplification.
But this is really just relevant to our vanilla armors, right? But regarding the blocks themselves, even we do various sizes, not constrained by half meter, 2.5 meter. There are all sorts of sizes. Now with the unified grade, it can be whatever. It's very it's very cool how like the new shapes are able to kind of catch the space, and you can build around them and build something, like use all the space around them to kind of fill in the details.
Blocks don't even need to be, in this size.
Yes, exactly.
Blocks, they can be, what's the word, like, I always for like convex or concave, the one with kind of like holes. And so a good example is Med Bay.
Yes,
which
inside,
is, I don't like, it is like 5 by 5 by 2.5 meters or something like that. But actually the interior or the inside part is empty, and you can build inside of it. And so that's, So basically the grid system is 25 centimeters, which means that that's the smallest unit, that you can do. But then you can have a block that is any multiple of 25 centimeter. By the way, before I forget, you were asking what kind of mods I would like to see. So actually, for me, like, I'm always also wishing to see character mods, like new characters, and not just reskins, but new models. And there was one; it was called like Progen character.
Let's have a look here. Again, we'll go back up. We're gonna go back up, I think. But here we go. So we have the Hollow Engineer, Dead Engineer. These hypertube. I didn't see this yet. I don't know if this was just posted, but this is the first. I have to check this out. This is the first Pioneer statue. There's flesh blocks. Another interesting one that I missed apparently when I was scrolling down, when I was taking a look before, there was this Chinese local translation. So have people managed to translate the game already somehow?
All the translations are in the data. So
okay,
it's all data driven.
Wow, that's interesting. So the first localization done by a mod here. Wow, there it is. So
interesting that it's like Chinese.
Yeah, it's the first
I wonder
one,
how many Chinese players are there.
There's a lot out there apparently, but there's no, because I think when we look at the numbers, I think probably I actually don't know what the second most used language would be. I imagine it's like follows the general worldwide language, right? German, Spanish, maybe, I don't know. I would imagine
German.
So the character mod. Hold on a second here. Yeah, this is the proto. This was the protogen mod here. So another complete character change here. So maybe I can try load up some of these in the new world with a meat as well. But the thing is, some of these mods, of course, they're kind of not conflicting, but you can obviously use one at a time, like one skybox, one character. It'd be cool in the future, of course, if there'd be a way to have multiple character like models, and then you could switch in the med bay a little bit like how you do in SE1. I don't know if that's something that's planned at all, something like that.
I guess not in the near future.
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
are now focusing on
Sure,
survival,
yeah,
water.
yeah.
That's just
Yeah,
and planets. Planets are really big thing. Lots of work because we want to really upgrade it. And I think we already released some sneak peeks of planets, like with clouds and vegetation. Like, guys, it will be mind blowing.
It's yeah, it's a whole. I mean, we often show the previews and the blog posts on stream, and I know Aaron's cooking those videos as well, and people are losing their minds about how detailed and how just it's a whole nother level, honestly, when it comes to the fidelity of planets.
Yeah. But I think they will be better even later when we will have some kind of second iteration to look on it and push some things. You remember the playtest agenda, right?
Yeah.
So, but I also think that when we will release the water in VS3, that will add another push to how the planets look nice. Because right now, for example, the areas where the ocean should be and there is no ocean, there is just this like white sand or whatever is the ocean surface. It's not so pretty.
They are bland.
Yeah, it's kind of bland. So with water, I think even this will become much more better. Plus, of course, we will have a completely new environment that we never had in Space Engineers, which is under the water. Like going deep and like kilometers or so.
I'm not going to talk about my dream again. My dream, basically going from I'd always talk it out, but yeah, this is going to be so huge. There's a whole new game playing field, if that makes sense. When it comes to water.
What I'm wondering about, like, what will be the progression in survival? Because like in SC1, it was usually you created some rover to run around, and then of course some ship to like fly away to some. But this time around, will it be rover, or will it be some like ship, or will it be some submarine to get to some ores that you otherwise wouldn't
be able to
get
get
into?
to? Wow. Yeah. Ooh.
So right now it's the ship because we don't have a rover.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why in FTUE, the first time user experience, we are focusing on a small ship and then some spaceship and so on. But I think correct way should be rover, and then of course eventually, but not too late, you should build a submarine and go deep because that's a new experience.
Yeah.
And it would be really good if player can experience it quite soon and not after like 20 hours or something. So when we'll be working on VS3, we actually need to rethink the FTUE so the player can get to the water quite fast. And also we already made some decisions, but we have to test it. It's like what is the water bringing to the gameplay and what are the challenges and rewards. So it's not just water, and we spent like years working on the technology, and but the water should bring you something that you never had in Space Engineers before. And
Sorry, Marek. I just saw something.
No, I know. I just decided not to distract Marek. But yeah. No, but it's true. Like it basically, if there is water, like if I picked up on that, is basically that the reason, I guess, of water not just being cool, because it is cool. Like it's very, very unique and special that there's water, but I guess giving it purpose, right? Giving it meaning in the gameplay loop and the meta loop, right? So a lot of potential with water. I think it'll be perfect when that after the initial VS2 launch, and then water will be added in later. It's gonna be awesome, guys. So I've loaded up some new mods, some new things to look at here. Hold on, I got some down here. We have a Halo skybox, so it's kind of like this planetary skybox here, and we have a completely different character here, Marek. Let's look.
Wow, really nice animation.
Hold on. Completely different. It's probably one of the first ones that I've seen, which is like completely. I've seen some modifying the faces and the but this is
this is good. Like this is what I wanted. Of course, if somebody made a serious one, some space engineer but different suit and everything, that would be also good. But
or Halo guy.
Yeah.
But is this using our animations, or does
I think it is because the stopping, like it's our stopping, like this one with the right feet always.
Okay, you have it in.
Yeah. I think it is our animation. Maybe if the author of of this mod is here in the chat, maybe
You see the hand?
yeah, maybe they can comment.
Let's try it. Hold on.
Yeah, always a furry.
It's fairy lions again, I believe.
There we go. So that was something radical, and this is actually meat. I don't know. I'm wondering if it's. I feel like the image, the meat loaded differently here. Let's see.
Maybe some load issue.
Yeah, it looks like it because
I had it the same.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that's just on the purpose, you know.
Oh, yeah.
First fake also had like, you know, very low textures, so I thought that that's it.
It's like a grilled steak, steak skin. It's interesting.
Low-res grilled steak.
And then I think one of the other ones I wanted to showcase. I had
But you can shoot some blocks,
Yeah, get
and
blasted.
then you will see something.
Yeah. I think I left the weapons off, but I have to get the debug gun. There we
I was
go.
mistaken, Joel. It wasn't fairy lions. It was Alexi PG, the gen mod.
Alexi PG. There we go. Now someone says turn your graphics down to fix.
Maybe it's
Wait.
really some LOD thing.
Wait, what? Oh, hold on a second. Is that blood I see?
Well,
like
not
a-
in armors. You have to destroy some.
Yeah, but look
Functional.
at the red. Look at the red there.
Ah, yeah.
The grilled steak. There it is. Wow. Hold on. And then we had also the first pioneer. What was that? What was it called? First. I swear I added it. That's why I sometimes. Oh, this is all the armor blocks. You know, you were talking about armor blocks, Chenda.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. We've got a whole new page of armor blocks here.
Crazy.
If I put in one of these here. Oh,
Hello?
now it's loaded. It took a second to load. I think it was still loading the texture here.
Okay, so maybe it's
Oh,
like super
wow.
high res.
Yeah, it's super duper high res. It took like 5 minutes to load in, but there we go. Now you have the meat.
There you go.
Yeah, you can turn Space Engineers, guys, into whatever you want it to be. I'll just leave it at that. Even the glass has... No, that's not the glass. My bad. But it's quite a mix
If you
here,
shoot
right?
the gyroscope's a fun one to shoot with this particular mod on.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Oh, the big one.
Yeah, the big one in the ship. That's
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to run through. Oh, I see now. Is that flesh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Like it's got like this seared texture on the outside and then the undercoat. I don't know who made this. Who had the name of this, right? Who made the meat, Aaron?
Oh, hold on. I did have it up, but
It's
it
an
just
interesting-
made me hungry, this
It
mod.
makes me think it's Jakiria.
Yeah.
So they woke- they-
PG-18 rating now.
Yeah, it's Jakiria.
So they woke
So-
up one day and was like, yes, this is what Space Engineers needs, is a meat mod. Oh, man. So, yeah, I had these other armor blocks here I wanted to showcase you guys. Here we go. This is detailing cubes. Wait. Oh, they're small, but I can still show it here. But, I mean, already that slope, what is that? That's like is that just a... It's a 1x2. So this is actually pretty standard. Like, oh no, is it? Looks like it's 1x2 wide, but only 1 block high. So it's 2x1, I guess. Where did that first pioneer want to go as well? Because I wanted to see that, but
Stone said search for structural block template to find the pioneers.
ah, there it is. Here it is. Is it going to be also covered in meat? Let's see.
Ha.
Wow.
Mm.
There you go. Look at this. The shininess.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool, guys. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it is.
This is a weird time to be eating steak. Very cool. All right. So I think we really have seen quite a as we're on the hour now. I think for today, we're not going to get through all 200 odd mods today, but I think we have seen quite a nice range of mods, and I think it would be great in the future to do more of this. I think, and I'm sure as the modding capabilities expand, we'll see more of this. But what I would love to do now, before we finish the stream, is just have a little bit of Q&A time with the community. Just a short session here, because we are running a little bit behind schedule, just a little bit. So if you guys have any questions in the chat for Chenda, Marek, myself, Sam, Aaron, now is the time to put them in the chat, and we will focus in on those questions. But big shout out to all the modders that we checked out today. There really was crazy range of types of mods. So very cool, guys.
So-
Thank you.
There were many questions throughout the stream regarding scripting when.
Okay.
So scripting will be, that's definitely planned, but as far as I know, we don't know when, because we are now focusing on fully survival and water. Those are our priorities to get them as fast as possible out, and then we can.
Yeah, and then we will probably be expanding the survival a little bit more, and then we will be working on multiplayer quite heavily.
At least small multiplayer,
Small
like the
multiplayer, yeah.
cooperative, right?
So I think the scripting modding will have to come later, after all these things.
And I think this is primarily, and I guess it's not like a lack of want. It really is just because the prioritization, right? Where we saw what players want the most in SE2, like firstly, and that really is survival and planets. So, as I said at the very start of the stream, the hands is kind of all hands on deck to get that out as soon as possible. But you do know that modding will get more and more love in the future, and it's it's going to be crazy, honestly. It's already seeing what people are doing right now, so.
There's a good question as well about how is the terrain rendered? If we can answer that one.
You mean terrain on planets? Is that some specific?
Is it marching cubes even for far away terrain?
Yeah, of course. So for both asteroids and planets, we are using dual contouring, but like some form or our reimagination of the dual contouring. And it's used in far away, same as in close distance.
We've got an additional one from Zero. They're saying so is survival then small multiplayer the new roadmap? Bit of a more difficult one to answer there.
Well, that's our current understanding of priorities, like first survival, then water, and then small cooperative multiplayer. But especially the multiplayer part, it can change. We'll see how what reactions will be to survival, to water. We may spend some more time there to essentially iterate and improve those. So that's really too long-term thinking.
An additional one, will they be able to visually mod turret projectiles or projectiles from weapons?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, everything is moddable. Even now, like I actually seen mods already with projectiles, because right now in the game, the debug gun is just scan hit. But players or modders were using our projectile system, which we have already in, we don't use it yet.
Yeah.
And they modded in the projectiles and guns that are shooting.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to that one.
Including the rockets, actually.
Yes, that was one of the mods that me and Aaron, I think we showed even on the release stream. But there is a mod out there that adds weapons and stuff. So yeah, people already adding the stuff they want early.
So another good modding question is when will we get more options in Mod SDK so we can access more modules, like changing car modules?
Changing what?
Changing
Core
modules is what they've said.
I don't know, like so far everything is like available. So from data modding, like players can or modders can access anything and
I think
whatever.
they're talking definition sets, Gendo, because there is
definition
stun.
sets. Okay. So core, there are some definition sets like core, engine, and main menu that are not right now supported. Yeah, support only the world definition set. And those, like other definition sets, they are kind of like locked out your possibilities. Sorry about that. We will see if something will be unlocked, but it's a little bit more complex even from our side, because those are definitions that are needed to start up, to jumpstart even the engine. So they are loaded like as a very first thing, and they are baked into all the systems. So, for example, probably plugin system could mod them, some on the level of plugin systems
Sure.
that you would have to reload the whole game, the whole executable. Or what we were thinking about is modding, of course, main menu. That's something is not too far away, but it's definitely not a priority and not a focus. So I wouldn't hold my breath at the moment.
Okay.
I want to jump to one question that I will ask myself and then answer. So why are we releasing water after the survival, and not, let's say, multiplayer or some other thing? So the reason is that water as a technology has been in the works for many years, and I really want to be finished as soon as possible so that we can move on gameplay features. And it's almost done. It's still not done. There is still a lot of things, but it's almost done, and so that why it seems like a nice stepping stone. Whereas if we started to work on multiplayer or something else, I think there would need to be like a bigger chunk of work. And then again, I think we should finish things that we started, and then move on another thing. So that's why I want the water to be done, so the water team can move on some other gameplay features. And
I think there is one other reason for this, at least that's my internal reason maybe. We have like bi-weekly presentations here in Keen where we present our work. So everyone that done something presents his work to everyone else. And actually when water is there, and planets by the way as well, like everyone is like just, there are these emoticons possible in the streams where we are like kind of sharing the work. And it's full screen of just shout outs, how great the things are.
Yeah.
So I think there is lots of hype internally about water.
Yeah.
I was going to say something very similar earlier about that. But our visual stuff is the stuff that changes the most over week on week, and I think we're always excited to see that when it comes to planets and water. It's such a, I think it's for us, as you said, internally, it's huge.
Yeah.
And then another thing is that this is one of the things that will set SE2 as apart from SE1.
SE1, yeah. And actually for a lot of games, like I always ask this, like there is some games that have it in some form or something, but I say, like, what other games out there can you do what you'll be able to do with volumetric water and Space Engineers 2? I mean, it's a really special feature, and I don't think it even has like reached its kind of peak of hype and recognition yet, to be honest. So this is
in like my idea is, what I want to say is to build a submarine, and then just like submerge with it and just slowly go to the bottom of the ocean and then discover there are some caves or something. I think this will be amazing. For me personally, actually when I was a child, I don't know, maybe like 10-year-old, actually I wanted to build my own submarine, and I started to build it on the garden of my grandfather by just, there was a barrel, like an old barrel from something like the usual barrel that you have everywhere. And I cut it and took another one. So, it was like a bigger barrel. And of course, I never finished it. And I would probably die, if I was using this submarine. But the idea that you are in this shell and it's protecting you and you can go to some hostile environment, even more hostile than the space, even though the space is probably the most hostile, but I think the water is maybe even more because there is pressure and it also looks different. So there will be different visibility. There will be different resources on the bottom of the ocean, resources that you can find only there. So there will be a lot of reasons to go to the water, other than just fun, like the fun mechanics, like playing with water, building aqueducts, just for fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. But I also still hope that we will be, at least in the future, able to utilize the water in ways that people will be surprised.
I have no doubt about it, to be honest. And I know that we'll be surprised whenever players get their hands on it. You know that players are going to do things that you'd never expect. It happens every day, so that's also something. Okay, yeah, guys. So we, again, Marek, we can start to kind of wrap this up whenever you like. If you want to hit a few more questions here, I think in terms of points you wanted to hit, we covered a lot of the points during the stream. You know, we talked about the game loop, we talked about survival, we touched on the combat. We've covered quite a lot today just throughout the stream. So maybe one or two questions to say, Sam, Aaron, if you see anything out there, if you guys see something you want to hit, then we can address those and then wrap it up for today, I think.
There is a good one, but it might have a big answer from Marek, this one.
Oh, okay.
And this is, could we touch on what colonizing the Almagist system would look like?
Okay, yeah, so I was already mentioning it, so I can clarify. The lore and the story of Space Engineers 2 is about colonization of Almagist. Like, that's the reason why the people are traveling there for 10,000 years. And you as a player, you will have the colonization map, which will be, map of the star system, Almagist. There will be, let's say, 15 sectors. You start with one. And then as you are completing missions, you are colonizing the sector you are inside. And once that sector is colonized, another sector unlocks, you can fast travel there, and you can also start doing missions there and colonize it. And the goal is to colonize the whole Almagist, so basically to see your map changed in green color, so you know that it's colonized. And why we like this particular meta loop is that it's very visual and very easy to understand. Like, everybody, I think even maybe like 3-year-old child would probably, if you show them a map and then color, some areas, everybody would understand that this means that, it's like either colonized or owned by somebody or claimed or something like that. So like it's very, very intuitive and very basic thing, that you own some space. So colonizing in Space Engineers 2 will be about not owning the space, but about being the one who colonized the space, just like Christoph Columbus colonized America. So of course he didn't own America. He was just the first person or the main person who discovered the place, and that's why we remember his name, and we don't remember the name of other people. And so again, the colonization will be solving missions, all kinds of missions, exploration, combat, engineering. And some of them will be tied to the story, some of them will not. And as you're solving the missions, your progress colonization progress of a sector will be increasing. One is 100%, you can colonize the next one. And what is also interesting is that after you colonize the whole of Almagist, you can continue playing, and there will be what we call like additional colonization, or like extra colonization. So you can still keep colonizing in an open-ended manner. And because I think a game like Space Engineers deserves no ending.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to have the ending because I think some players are completionists.
Yeah.
And they actually want to finish something, and they want to have that feeling like I completed this thing,
Because then there can be other ways to approach it.
Yeah.
You can have the end goal is the same, but it's like, okay, how fast can I do it? Or can I try a different method to get to the same end result? So that can be something.
And probably the main inspiration for this, because I was thinking about Metaloop for Space Engineers for 10 years. But I think the last piece in the decision was when I remember how I was playing Rome Total War. And in Rome Total War, you have the Europe, and there are these territories, or how they call it, not territories, but provinces. and you are conquering the provinces, and then, of course, the enemies, they conquer your provinces, so it's always changing. But the visual satisfaction, or the visual feeling, and then the satisfaction of expanding your area was there, and I think it's very easy to explain to people and to feel it. And so this felt like the right kind of meta loop for a game like Space Engineers, and I think actually it always was about colonization. Space Engineers.
So I think what will be interesting to our audience today, speaking of modding, the colonization map will be actually part of the save game, like the definition of it, and players will be able to create their own, like,
Very
you know,
nice.
worlds
Okay. Oh, it's
with
their own
colonization
Oh,
sectors.
Wow.
So it will be like fully moddable.
That is huge, because you think of this as like a story, or like even if you finish playing the original experience or whatever, modders can come in and make a whole new one. You know, different planets, different goals, different challenges.
Exactly.
So I mean, as Shibarita says, that's huge. I saw Shibarita also asked, will you have to conquer like the water? If that makes sense. Like I guess.
At some point,
yeah.
yes, when there will be water.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think will be very interesting with this mechanic is whenever we will have multiplayer and multiple players, like either in co-op or like PvP,
Like fighting for control, right?
Yeah, they don't have to actually like fight each other. They just can be colonizing, you know, the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, like colonization in multiplayer is still something that we are discussing with the designers. So that's not completely set in stone. But another idea that we are playing with for some future expansion or upgrade or whatever update for SC2 is what we call faction wars, and that's where you actually turn the colonization into war. So, you know, like you want to colonize, and not just colonize, but actually dominate or capture some sector, and while it's yours, you are getting some advantages.
Sure.
So just like in Monopoly or something. So it's actually beneficial to colonize more or to dominate more. But especially if it is multiplayer, the other factions or crews are trying to do the same, and this creates never-ending struggle, never-ending choke point. So that's another, I think, nice update that we'll be able to do in the future. And maybe one more thing. Or yeah, feel free to ask.
I was just going to quickly say a quick disclaimer in here that things that we are discussing are subject to change, guys. I would put that in there before everyone gets super excited. But Marek, back to you. Sorry.
No, Aaron, I know we're laughing because I was like, when Aaron was like, I know, actually, we should have said that at the start. But Aaron, you are.
But we did multiple times actually.
But you are right, Aaron. You are right for saying that, because I see people
later on, new people have joined. Things are different.
Sure.
And that was what I would discover like as a golden nugget of information that we just dropped there. So it'll be clipped out. So now we put the disclaimer there just next to it, so everyone can relax.
We need every person who makes clips to add the disclaimer text themselves onto the stream.
You are nudging us that we shouldn't be like leaking that much, Aaron.
Leaking with disclaimers is fine.
This is great information. It's great information, but at the same time, we just need to make sure that they know it's a possibility of changing.
Yeah, as Sam said, we almost need like a big banner on the stream saying this entire, everything we're just talking about is subject to change or something like this. But I mean, on the first release stream of Space Engineers, we were talking about how volcanoes and different different types of liquids. But yeah, all of this was potential, but still very much like maybe.
I think what we also need to keep reminding is that we want to be open on these streams and also in the Dev Diary.
Yeah.
And we really want to be open about like what's promise and what's just discussion or brainstorming. And then we also don't want to be bound by, just brainstorming, right? Because then we would not be able to talk about nothing, and, basically the live stream here would be just like sitting here and, being very careful and saying just the right PR
messages. And I don't think the community would want that.
Yeah. So I think what we really need from the community is to understand this and respect it and make sure that it doesn't get lost somewhere in translation, right? Because one thing is, if I say it here, that it will go to somebody's like a post somewhere or some video, and then people will not see the original. They will just know, what somebody else is talking about, what we were saying here. So please make sure that this is really clear, that when we are talking about some just brainstorming or some future ideas.
Well, this is what I will say though, is our community have been great on spreading that message. Every time something's popped up, our community have jumped on it and said, "Hey, look, guys, this was part of a wider discussion. I recommend you check out the full discussion that happened there." So yeah, our community's been great on there, and we've stuck a work in progress.
I want it to be like an animated banner that's just kind of like moving across the screen like this continuously.
Just like we said though, these discussions are critical because it's like we're discussing like with you, we're hearing your feedback, literally on the questions that you want to hear, and we're taking, just like the dev blog, a step into Marek's mind of what's happening.
I think we're also really excited to share this with the community, right? We're always like chomping at the bit to tell you these bits of information because we're excited about what we're making.
Yeah, and we're also in the blog posts when we are releasing something, like when we release VS1 or now when we'll be releasing VS2, we'll also be very clear about like what's not there or what's not working, what will be the next thing. And actually, even when I'm thinking about the final version of SC2, when it will be getting out of early access, of course, it will not contain many things that we discussed, especially, these like future updates, ideas. And it will also not contain everything that people wished and so on. But we'll be very clear and we'll say that this is, even when the game will be getting out of early access, that's not end of the story.
Sure.
Just like last, 11 or 12 years, was proof that we like developing space engineers and want to develop it as amazing. It's just not going to happen in 1 week. It will take years. But eventually, we will get to where we want to get. And so, yeah, please be patient and please also read carefully what we say. And we always want to be absolutely transparent and open and honest about what's the real plan, what's missing, what will come later, and so on. And the last thing that I wanted to add here is that we are also working on what I call complete roadmap. So because even the roadmap that we announced is, kind of vague, right? Like it just goes like there will be campaign, there will be multiplayer, there will be this and that. But internally we are working on a like absolutely final roadmap, so complete roadmap. So we know for sure what will be in the game on the day of when it will be living early access, and what must come later, obviously, because it will be not made during that phase. So this is also very important for us because it will allow us to avoid the feature creep, which can happen, that it's like, okay, let's add this feature, let's add this feature. This actually happened during SC1 development quite a lot. That's why, it took us so many years, because we thought like, how about adding this feature? Okay, let's add it, and then you expanded the development for another year. And then there was another good idea. So, okay, it would be great to add this feature. So let's add it, and then you just keep adding and keep adding. And then the end or the release date is, still running from you. So I want to be absolutely disciplined with SC2 and really know what is necessary for the core game or the vanilla game. And then everything else can be added later because it will not run away. Like we can always add it, but we need to have the core, the vanilla, to be like what we wanted it to
solid.
Be, but nothing more. And by saying nothing more, I don't mean it will be limited or like low quality. No, definitely no. But we need to be very clear about what is necessary for the core experience, and also core experience that is 10x compared to what was until now, and what is not necessary and what can actually wait for later. So I also want to be very clear about this. I hope I, didn't cause more confusion, but maybe we can also repeat it later.
Sure.
But
I mean, I think we said this from the start. I think we were always talking about the fact that there will be this core experience, like version 1.0, and then of course the fun doesn't have to end there. It's just the core experience will be definitely some kind of defined set of features, gameplay, whatever, and then from there, of course, it can be expanded upon. But I think we did mention this from the beginning, but I think it is important when we start talking about all these things that hopefully will happen. It's like some of these things don't have like a timeline or anything like that, so that's important. But I say there's been a lot of great conversations today, guys, and I think there's been a lot of nice things to pull out of it in terms of some, behind the scenes and some things to look forward to. I think we'll start to wrap this up today. What we'll do is I'm just going to go over a few other kind of reminders here, and I'll ask the guys as well if they have final thoughts. But again, just course, wanted to give a big shout out to everyone that we showcased today. There's a huge number of modders there, and we didn't get to all of them. And of course, just all the modders who in general have been building and using the system already. We really appreciate your kind of efforts and creativity, and hopefully we will look at more in the near future here. So that was the one big thing. And then just a reminder to get stuck in with the modding. If you haven't modded yet, hopefully the stream is some kind of inspiration for you guys to jump in. It's really accessible more than ever. You know, of course, there's some things that you'll be doing is more advanced, but you can already make some small changes, and you can kind of put your name on it quite easily, actually. And yeah, we covered that. VS2 is the next big update, planet survival systems and more. And the final few things here, we've got, be sure to leave us a review on Steam. Like, you can really support us, actually, both by submitting feedback on the support portal, but also leaving reviews on the actual store page as well, because the team do genuinely go through that and read the reviews that are being left, and including Marek. So that's also a great way to kind of support us. And yeah, the classics, join the Discord, discord.gg/KeenSWH, the dev diaries, the roadmap, and these are the main things here. So I think with that, I just want to kind of go around the kind of room here and add some final thoughts. So maybe we'll hand it over to, let's say to Aaron over there, go in reverse here.
Yeah, you've covered everything I was going to say, really. But the main thing I wanted to add to that was, remember to keep submitting your feedback and bug reports to us. That is absolutely crucial. The feedback, when we're checking through that stuff, we're analysing, we're having a look at what sort of information is there and what you guys kind of want and what we're working on. The same with the bug reports. We can get them issues passed on and hopefully resolved or put into, you know, a situation where they can be looked at and analysed further. So that's a massive help. I'd also like to thank you guys as well in Steam, fighting our corner, you know, discussing it with other people who are leaving them comments, leaving the reviews, and explaining, you know, to them with your extra information, you know, what stage this game is at and where we're heading with development. The community is so strong and so powerful for both Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2. It's lovely to be part of it. So I thank you so much for doing that. That's all from me there.
Awesome. Big shout out to Aaron. So let's hear it from Sam. How we doing, Sam? MVP of the modding here.
Well, like Aaron said, you expertly covered everything in one fell swoop. I'd probably reiterate specifically, if you haven't tried modding, try it. It is definitely a lot. If you like tinkering, it's a lot of fun. Join the Discord. As you've seen, there's plenty of talented modders who also are more than willing to help you, show you the ropes, and actually devs jump into the Discord chats from time to time to help out because we use the same tools that you do. So that's what I would reiterate. Try it and join the community in your way, any way you want.
Thanks so much, Sam.
Just a quick one as well. We've also got the guides on the website. So if you do want to get into modding, you can go on the website, go into our modding zone, and you can access both the text guides and the video guides, and they will be updated with more advanced guides as we progress. Well, back to you. Perfect.
I'm just going to hand it to Chenda now. Final thoughts for today, Chenda.
Okay. So I'm actually glad I've been on this stream because I knew lots of mods already, but not all of them. Like I actually
what was a kind of highlight, I guess, for you?
Oh, this big statue of space engineers. That was really nice design.
The texture cool as well. Yeah.
So like great job, guys. I'm really amazed as always, as I have always been with space engineers, even with SE1. So yeah, that's really great to see all the creations. And like what I'm at the moment, like I have a full head of it, and I'm really looking forward to get it out to your hands is the survival updates, and especially planets. I think that will be really, really amazing. And it will finally add some, not only core loop, but also meta loop. So like extending the gameplay above just a sandbox game. Really looking forward to it.
Well, thanks so much, Chenda. Yeah.
Joel, just a question. Shouldn't we go through the poll as well?
Ooh, we could. We could have a little.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, because we can. Let's have a quick. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's see the live results then. Hold on. Yeah. Where's my mouse?
Are you guys interested in the poll results?
I'm an editor. Oh, here we go. I can edit. I can see the results here. So 63 responses today. Wow. We got some. Okay. So in terms of there was other options here. So what kind of mods do you want to see more of? 77% want to see more block mods. It's actually not. I wish it was ordered a bit. The second biggest is character, 40. I see. Yeah, 40. How do those percentages add up there?
Maybe. Well, is it possible to share the screen? I think there won't be nothing sensitive, or what do you think?
Let me just scroll down. I mean, the thing is, I don't think anything can be typed here, but I think it's not a problem, right? Probably won't be anything. Let me see. We could share it, I think.
Yeah, by the way, guys, talking about
I mean
blocks
the screen.
Oh, yeah.
As we speak.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on a second here.
As for the modding blocks, I think what I would really like to see is the combinations of various components, like doing all-purpose block with like ultra stress gyro and make it, for example, as a space bike, something like that.
It is interesting. There's quite a large percent who want to hear modded audio as well. Like, what sort of modded audio? I wonder what they want to hear. You know, sounds for thrusters, music, or like something between, more sound effects for weapons, footsteps, interaction. So it'd be interesting to hear what audio they'd like.
Just checking, guys. Give me a second. All right, we got it on the screen then. It's being voted live here, so we can have a little look. So, yeah, this is 65 responses. I'm just going to scroll through this here. So we got a lot of blocks, a lot of character, then materials, particles, audio, asteroid, 10. And then, of course, everyone put a lot of custom options in here, which is interesting to read through. I see VR, weapons, tools, scripting, mechanics, new technologies, radar, aerodynamics, modular electricity. We'll scroll down here as well. And what features do you want to see next? And obviously, as we might expect, scripted mods up at the top there. 53 votes for scripted mods. Then UI, then model animations, localizations. Keybinds is definitely a big one. I'm actually surprised. I mean, it's one thing being moddable keybinds. I think people in general want like just customizable keybinds that don't necessarily have to be a mod, but still. Character animations, main menu mod. Oh, main menu mods is there too. I should thought about that. So scripting mods, obviously, the power of scripting mods can be huge. And now this is not an easy one to look at, but this is just asking you guys. We'll definitely have to look at this. I mean, maybe we can use some figure a way to summarize. You can summarize the responses maybe, and actually.
We will give it to AI.
Give it to AI, and
maybe over there you have summarized responses.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would click it on stream, but I don't know what it might bring up. So I'll keep it safe right now. So anyway, you could use this though, plug it into AI, and basically say, look at this list. Like, what are the top? Which games are mentioned the most, kind of thing. So it is interesting. I appreciate you guys writing this. Like, we're seeing all the games that you guys, Minecraft, SE Power, Daisy, Rainwell, Space Engineers, Valheim, Ark. So a lot of interesting lists, games here. So we definitely will have to plug this in and see what the results are. It was hard to put just 5 options when there's so much variety. Factoria, of course. And there's the similar thing here. Most recent game that's like one choice. Space Engineers is there. Very nice. And this is even more mixed. Look at this. I see Space Engineers a few times. So very nice. And there at the bottom, we have some ones that aren't. This is the most recent game. So these are kind of similar, but we can automate that, I think. And now let's have a look for players. Now that modded, so for players that have modded, how easy have you found modding? So, Aaron, was this 1 to 10 being 1?
Yes. So 1 was I haven't tried modding.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And 10 was I tried it and it was really easy.
It's a nice little scale there. I mean, there's a lot around the 7 to 8 mark, 8 out of 10 for being ease of use, and there's a lot of people who haven't got in yet, but could potentially get into it later. So that's great. But in general, it's there's a few people like on the 4, but it's definitely shifted towards the higher, which is nice to see. And then how easy it to use and load mods, and that's also nice to see. 40% of players saying it's a 10 out of 10. I'm curious to hear the 6 unless Aaron, was this also 1? Was this also haven't tried yet, or was this actually?
No, I'll double this. So this was basically hard to easy.
So I'd be curious to know the people at the other end who found it more difficult. like why they found it difficult and what
So-
could we change, you know, to make
So
it
the
easier.
exact question was, do you find it easy to use /loads mods in Space Engineers 2? And the one scale was, I don't know what I'm doing, and then
Oh.
easy peasy.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. So there's that 12. Yeah, so some players don't know what they're doing. So we might have to have some hints there.
Educate them.
Educate them, exactly. But overall, it's a very promising graph. We've moved the majority of people in that kind of 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of regions. That's very interesting here. So this was, you know, today's poll. I think this was the last question, correct? But
That was the last question.
But thank you guys for getting involved and keep voting. Feel free to share this this around the community. And what we'll say is that, you know, we'll do more of these polls in the future. So keep an eye out because we do want to engage you guys as much as possible. But again, today was about modding, so we wanted to have some kind of modding related stuff. But we will actually have a look at those games lists, and I'm really curious to see what the top 3 are. So awesome. So with that concluded, thank you for reminding me, Chenda. We'll hand it to Marek for the final words here for today's stream.
Yeah. So thanks again, everybody who joined the stream and discussed with us. Also thanks to the modders who are creating these amazing mods. And also thanks to our team who is working on the game and also who is working on Space Engineers 1. And yeah, so thanks, and thanks for the colleagues who were here with me on the stream.
Definitely. Yeah, big shout out to Sam, Aaron, Chenda, Marek, and I guess myself. So thank you guys for all being here tonight. It's been a great stream and all the community members in the chat. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Keep on creating in the next one. Bye, guys.